So today we've got the first 2 games of the Premier League season for Lincoln City, and it just doesn't look good for us. It does not look good. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we have the first 2 games of the Premier League season for you. Away to Bournemouth and then at home to Leicester. Now if you missed yesterday's transfer special, go and check that out because then you'll know who all the players are and you'll probably know that potentially our side is weaker than it was last year when we got promoted. First of all though, before we get into anything, yesterday we literally spoke about transfers but other stuff did happen over summer. So let's have a look. If we go to the boardroom then, we can see that the youth facilities are being upgraded, they're nearly done. Training facilities are also being upgraded, and then the board automatically decided to expand the stadium by 2,500 seats, I think it was. So if we look at facilities, it must have been to there. Currently reduced by 506 because it's being expanded by 2,500 plus undersoil heating. So that'll be done, in fact, by the end of the month actually. So that'll be pretty good. So soon we'll be having games in a 12,000 seater stadium, which is nice. It also works out well for me because I said I wanted to ask for a new stadium and then we'll probably do that next season. Once we have enough money, projection wise, we're going to be sitting on 41 million by the end of the season apparently, which is nice to see. We get a lot of TV money come in, which is decent. We're also barely spending close to our wage budget, which is good. It's obviously not a target, it's a limit, so you don't really want to get too close to it if you can. Also, I think by then we should have a bigger reputation. I'll try and find the reputation stuff in a minute, but we should have a bigger reputation then, which must mean the stadium will be bigger. Yeah, if we look at our reputation, we're 3-star national, which is similar to a lot of the championship sides basically. If we have a decent season and survive this year, I reckon we should be moving up to about 3.5-star. If we try and do a bit of a cup run, which is what my aim is going to be this season, a cup run, that will also get our reputation up quite a bit. And potentially, if we get a really good cup run and end up winning something, that could be a gateway into Europe as well. So we're going to focus on the cup a lot this season. We've not really focused on it before, but this season League Cup and FA Cup are going to be real focal points for us. Danny Cowley, still England manager, still doing wonderfully well with them. In fact, how did they do in the World Cup? They got to the quarterfinals, lost to France. So you're still in the job, Danny, but you're still not doing anything better. I don't think there's anything else that happened that was major over summer, so we'll just get straight into today's game. And let's have a look at this side then. Now, I know yesterday we said let's play to our strengths and play through the middle. However, we've only got 2 strikers currently fit, Aguero and Allore. But then De Silva and Vladimir are injured, and so is Chummer. So I didn't want to risk playing through the middle because I didn't think we'd be able to do it that well. So we're going to play with wingers, and I know we've only got a left-sided winger. The best right-sided winger we've got is Lukasic, who's a 17-year-old regen. Obviously going to be very good. We know all about him. We've spoken about him a lot. But only good enough for League 2, and he's going to start in a Premier League game, which is a risk, a big risk. Now, I'm probably being a little bit too down at the moment. I do have faith in this side. Darlow comes in as a very good Premier League goalkeeper, so I'm happy to have him there. The back 4 is probably a better than it was last year in regards that Valerie is better than he was last season. Williams, we know, is very good. Garcia is the best player in the team at the moment. We're just left back that we're lacking after we had David Green last season. We've now got Gers back in the side, who just isn't good. Midfield is where we're strongest, basically. I have so much faith in Coyle. Mount is very good, and when De Silva's back fit again, he'll slot in where Byers is there, and I do think that is probably the strongest part of the squad. When we play through the middle, I've got faith in Vladimir, and I've got faith in Chummer. I just don't have too much faith in Aguero, perhaps, and I don't have too much faith in Allore, but he did score 21 goals last season, so he has deserved that chance to play Premier League football. And then it's these wingers that I have little faith in, basically. But there's a side. Let's go and see if we can do something. Right, Bournemouth kick off, and who is going to get our first touch of the ball in the Premier League? Will we see it in this highlight? We don't know. It could be number 15. Number 15, who is that? He's Jan Valery, gets the first touch of the ball in a Lincoln shirt for Lincoln City in the Premier League. I think I just said that basically. Darley gets the first proper touch though, by actually holding on to it. So a decent start. We've not conceded a goal already. Things are looking pretty tasty so far. This will be a decent test, to be fair, to see if we can actually show ourselves to be contenders for not being relegated this season. If we can get a good result here today, we should carry that momentum through against Leicester. Although Shaqiri has just punished us. That was a very, very easy goal for him to score. Shouts of offside, I thought, from a Phobie there, but it's not been given. So 1-0 down already. Not the worst thing in the world, but it could be better. I mean, we've got a small squad. We have a very, very small squad. You saw that in the tactics screen, actually. I could have just brought in loads of championship quality players, for example. I could have brought in a load of rubbish. However, I came into this thinking, like, I'm only going to sign players that are going to make us better. And I think for the most part I did that. It's just when I start to panic and get like Aguero in, who is obviously very good, but not quite now at 34 years old. The same with our left back. The left back situation is just ridiculous. How we've not been able to get a good one in is beyond me. Hopefully we'll get some more transfer funds at some point and we can get a proper one in. All the highlights are going Bournemouth's way right now, though, unfortunately. It's not looking great for us as Shaqiri puts the ball in towards a Phobie. Darlow does collect the ball, though, and he can show his distribution now. Has he got good distribution, or is he going to give it straight to them? He puts it onto Mount's head, actually, there. Now we can try and build an attack forward as Byers looks for Le Classic, who plays a good ball out to Allure. If we can just push ourselves forward here, create some options, create a bit of movement, boys, move around. Stop being... I mean, I told him to be rigid, actually, for this game. I did tell him to be rigid, which is probably my fault now. I'm trying to say let's be more fluid. But Byers now on the ball, out to Le Classic. Le Classic puts the ball into the middle, headed away, but only as far as Coyle. Into Yeo. Brad Yeo has scored the first goal in the Premier League for Lincoln. He's not even our player, he's on loan. But it doesn't matter, we're back in this game. Also, I should probably say that I literally only signed him because he's called Yeo. If you're a Lincoln City fan, you'll know why. If you're not... absolute club legend is called Simon Yeo, from must be about 10-15 years ago now in real life, but absolute legend at the club in real life. So I literally signed him because of that. I thought anyone with the name Yeo I'm signing, so there we go. Also quite controversially, is it Yeo or Yeo? I never knew. I think I used all different ones at the start, but goodness sake. Well, whilst we're debating if it's Yeo or Yeo, let me know in the comments what you think. Lewis Cook scores on the verge of half time to put Bournemouth back ahead. Right, well, first highlight of the second half is coming towards Bournemouth, although we've just cleared the ball actually. And we can get a ball out to Le Classic. If Le Classic can use his place to come forward, puts it into the box towards Yeo, but it's headed clear, and that's the end of the highlight. So, literally, we're having so few chances now, the highlights are literally for our crosses. Right, let's look to make some changes then. Can anyone actually come on the pitch and make a difference for us? I'm not 100% sure they can. We'll bring Aguero on for Allure. He can play as a trequartista, apparently. I'm not going to play him like that. We're going to play him as an advanced forward, I think. What else do we do? Mount hasn't played too well, so we're going to bring Byers on instead. Make him back as a deep line playmaker in that position he played so well for a few seasons. We'll bring De Silva on as well, back as that Carrillo for the last 25 minutes, as I say, if that makes a difference or not. There is a highlight going on though as Liam Coyle collects the ball, our team captain. Jan Valery now out through to Le Classic, who puts his ball into Allure. Great little pass that actually. Now Mount puts the ball forward to Yeo, but he didn't quite get. I think he might have just been offside actually, so fair play. And now Asmir Begovic can collect the ball. The highlight does continue though, as a Phobie somehow gets onto that ball. I don't know how we've just let him get that, but fortunately his shot was awful, so good. We're also going to change tactically. We're going to go to attacking actually now, and we're going to go to fluid. We've sat back enough thinking that a counter formation would work, but it's not particularly worked. So let's try and give this a go. Let's see if this actually does help us out now. I mean, it's not really done much so far. If anything, it's been better for Bournemouth. They've had more shots now. We've not had shots since we've gone to attacking. Not quite what we wanted. Really, this is it. Not quite what we wanted. And there we go. Full time. I think you can look from the stats there and say we were dominated by Bournemouth there. And they deserved the win. In fact, they deserved to win it by a lot more than what the actual scoreline was. 2-1 is probably quite kind to us, actually. We'll go aggressive in the dressing room. Far from pleased from that result. But we build and we move on. Right, we've got a week off then before the Leicester game to get ourselves ready. I was literally about to say let's try and look for more transfers, but we can't because the deadline's over. The transfer window is shut. We literally cannot do anything. We're stuck with what we've got, which isn't great. And there we go. One of the players that we tried to sign has gone to another Portuguese side. But again, he was potentially 4.5-star current ability that we could have signed. But because he couldn't get a work permit, he couldn't go. And now he's gone to another team for less money in a worse league. If you are a long-time subscriber and know and watched a lot of the Lincoln Loco, you'll know that Big T was a player that played for us. Played very poorly in the Championship in our first season there, but he was a player for us nonetheless. We did try to sign him over summer because he's got that Premiership quality in the future. Currently a decent Championship player. We could have got him up to that level. However, we couldn't agree a fee with Leeds, basically. Despite him wanting to come to us, it's a bit annoying, really. They've made a non-negotiable fee, apparently, Gironia. I'll tell you what, let's put another bid in for £1 million, shall we? And see, that's what they wanted. They wanted 7.5. We'll just cancel it for now. We'll come back in a few days' time and see if we can reset it, maybe, or something like that. We've tried to get Ronaldo Vieira again because he's apparently been put on the transfer list. We'll say first team. We'll get rid of that silverware thing. Suggested promises. He's fine with that. This deal will now go through in January if we do get him. We'll negotiate the contract. He wants 20 grand a week, roughly. We'll put him on a 4-year deal. Suggest that he wants 50. Jesus Christ! I'm not paying £55,000 a week for him. We'll come back to that in a few months' time. See what we can do. There's no rush now because there's no transfer window right now. Can you tell that I'm stressed about this now? Can you tell that I'm stressed? We're going to get relegated with a record low points total. Because I feel very stressed. This is not fun right now. Right, for the Leicester game then, we're going back to the formation that won us the Championship. The players that I wanted to play are now fit again, so we can play this formation a little bit better now. We're sticking on control and fluid like we did last season, where it worked so well for us. Hopefully, it will work well for today against Leicester, but I don't really hold much hope out for it, unfortunately. But either way, let's submit that team and just see what happens, really. See what happens, because it's going to be a laugh anyway, whatever happens. Right, the first Premier League game to ever take place at Lincoln Sincil Bank Stadium. In Lincoln ever, actually, because Lincoln never been in the Premier League in their entirety of their history. This is the first top-flight football match to ever take part in the city. And fingers crossed, we show the fans who have been loyal to us throughout the years that we can be a Premier League team and pick up a win today against Leicester. First highlight of the game, though, is, of course, going towards Leicester as Godfrey Donster comes narrowly close there with his shot there. We know all about Donster. If you watched last on FM 17, if you watched 0 to Hero, that save, when we were at Roma, we had Donster, and he was honestly the best player in that midfield, which is a lie because Nainggolan was better actually, so he wasn't quite the best. But he was very, very good either way. He's a player that I very much admire and like, and I'd love to sign him for Lincoln one day on this. That would be fantastic as Acosta just scores perhaps goal of the season there with an absolute thunder strike from a good 25 yards out. And already, like last game, 16 minutes into the game, 1-0 down. So not looking good right now. Once again, Leicester coming forward, and we've just about scrambled the ball away there. I was certain there was going to be a goal at the end of that now. Lukaku, not Romelu, but another Lukaku, puts it into their striker who somehow puts it wide. We're struggling to cope with them as a midfield apparently, but that's fine because it says that all the time. Let's float crosses into the box apparently, even though we've got no wingers. We'll do it anyway because it's what my assistant manager is telling me to do. Phil Neville, incidentally, the assistant manager, so at least an England player has come on board at some point. He's an England player a long time ago, but England nonetheless. Now, I don't think we're playing badly in this game so far. I don't think this first half has been disastrous. It's just not been great, really, which is probably what's going to be the theme for the entire season, I think, as we go forward. Nice to see that two of our players, Allore and Gersbach, are looking error-prone today. That is always a nice sign to see that. And, of course, we can't do anything about them either because we have no other left-back and Chummer, the other striker, is currently injured and can't play in today's game. So we're stuck with them on the pitch. Doesn't matter if they're error-prone or not, we're stuck with them on the pitch. I really should just sign more players. I should have got more bodies into the pitch. They've just got another one. Gersbach, who got a 6.1 rating in the last game. I don't know if you noticed it or not. I didn't point it out, but he got a 6.1. Is now just scored an own goal and is proving to be the worst signing we could have possibly made, and perhaps even playing the League One quality left back would have been better than him right now. What do we do with this? Like, genuinely, what do we do right now? We'll bring Byers on as a deep line playmaker on support. I mean, Garcia's played woefully. Let's get Jorgensen on for him. This is going to be a long season. This is going to be a really long, tough season. We've got a chance now, though, as Jan Valery comes forward with the ball. And if that was the highlight, then I feel sorry for the boys, really. We've got another chance now coming forward, though, as Alore plays with Dragomir. Dragomir loses the ball, and it goes all back to Szczesny now, who can start a Leicester City attack now, as Marseillaise, who's still playing for Leicester, comes forward now, but Coyle makes a nice interception. Byers through to Gersbach. Goes back through to Dragomir, through to Aguero, who's just sitting there, not doing anything particularly. Just move a little bit, please, mate. That'd be nice. Dragomir through to Aguero. Aguero has gone and scored a goal in the 66th minute. Oh, but he was offside. You give me hope, Football Manager. You give me hope, and then you knock me back down like that. Well, in the final few seconds, we have a chance to just grab a consolation goal, which would be nice because we're going to need help in the goal difference, but nothing came of it. We've lost 2-0 and we've lost both of our games today. This game, much more even actually in terms of shots and things like that, but they just have more quality than us. And I've got a better left back because I'm sure their left back is Premier League quality. Ours is Championship. So not quite the start we wanted to our Premier League season. Next episode then, it's already starting to look like from the first two games that us, who are sitting 17th, Watford and Sunderland, who are sitting 18th and 19th, are looking like early candidates for relegation fodder. So I think next episode we'll probably do Watford and Sunderland, unless other teams we play before then are starting to look even worse than them. I think Watford and Sunderland is going to be the next episode because they are games that we may have a chance of winning. Right, well, thank you for watching today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, please do drop a like. Subscribe to the channel to watch us struggle through the Premier League because, quite frankly, I'm not quite sure what is going to happen at this stage. It's going to be an interesting journey either way, though, so make sure you do subscribe to join in with that. And I'll see you next time for more Lincoln Loco action.